Okay, I made this video yesterday about Yankee Marshall, and what do you know? I saw one of his new videos that kind of intrigued me, and I wanted to kind of so-called rebut it again. Mainly, I like to rebut this guy's fixation with revolvers, which frankly are just not the best carry guns. Period. Semi-autos are always better, but not to say they can't be good, but they are not the best. So I'm interested in this because I'm always looking for the smallest, lightest carry gun. I prioritize ease of carry over anything, besides reliability, of course. So when he showed this gun, I thought, oh, this is interesting. I might want to look at this. The Smith & Wesson 327 PC, which at first I thought there was a caliber called 327 or something like that. Shows what I know. But it's actually a 357 Magnum. 327 is just the model number. And I went and I looked at the Smith & Wesson website, and it's talking about how the frame is Scandinavium and the cylinder is titanium and this and that to make it super light. And I was like, whoa, this is really intriguing. This gun can be really light. How much are we talking here? 13 ounces? 12 ounces? What? I could be really interested in this gun. Go look on the website, and the weight of the thing is 23.1 ounces. That is high, in my opinion. And I'm just like, well, what did you go to all that trouble doing? All this scandium and this and that, and scandium alloy, and you end up with a 23-ounce gun. That's the same as a freaking Glock 19. Not to mention, this gun costs $1,300 and something according to the $1,309. Now, I don't know what street price is, but I'm guessing it's at least $1,000 or so, if not higher. I don't know if the street price is significantly below this, or like it is on some guns, or maybe not. So yeah, okay. Now another nice thing about this gun apparently is it holds 8 rounds of 357 mag. Okay, that's nice, but look at the size of that thing. Look at the size of that cylinder. That thing ain't. Imagine that thing sticking into the small of your back, or your side, or your hip, or forget it. That's a huge gun, and that's a 23 ounces. Like I said, my Glock 19 unloaded weighs 23 ounces. So why not carry a Glock 19? You're better off with 15 rounds of fast-firing 9mm than 8 rounds of double-action, 15-pound trigger pull, 357 mag. That, and the Glock, you can actually reload it should it ever come to that, within an hour. But you probably won't need to, since it has almost twice, all you got to do is stick one in the chamber in the Glock, in fact, and you've got double the capacity of this. You'll have 16 versus 8 for this. So I admit this is kind of a neat gun and stuff, but just to me, he's aiming way high on the weights, and a lot of people who concealed carry seem to do this. They seem to carry these giant guns, and I guess they do, but I hope everybody knows you're carrying, because those things are sticking out like bananas. So yeah, it's interesting, but that's way too heavy and way too big. Sorry. I believe the smallest revolver I've seen, I think Smith & Wesson makes an extremely expensive little 38 special or something. May even be a 357 mag, and it gets down to like 13.7 ounces, I'm thinking. I don't know of it offhand. It's still too big with the cylinder and everything to carry. You can't pocket carry any of these revolvers because of the cylinder size, and so on and so forth. So yeah, but 23 ounces, like I said, I got kind of excited when I saw the scandium frame and this and that. This might be the perfect carry gun. And then I saw 23 ounces. In my book, that's terrible. To me, most of the Ruger LC9, the small 9s, they run around 17 ounces, 17 to 19 ounces. It's like the Ruger LC9, the M&P Shield's a little heavier, probably the Springfield XDS a little heavier. They might be around 20. But there's another one. Oh, probably like the Glock 43 is probably right around 17. So, to me, there's like different tiers there. 23 is way too big. 17 is like doable, but kind of high. But not really yeah, it's kind of high for pocket carry. But I wouldn't get excited about this 357 revolver till it hit like maybe 17 ounces, and it's not even close. And then to really get excited, I think is around the 13 and less mark. Like a Glock 42, the 380 is around 13, about 14 ounces. Now it's now we're talking, but it's kind of too big. The frame's actually decent size on a Glock 43 or whatever the 380 Glock is, Glock 42, and it only holds 6 rounds. Also, you'd think for the size it could do a little better. So yeah, I mean none of that's viable. So, and then he says something at some point about like, I'd rather have 8 rounds of 357 than I forgot the gun he was comparing to it, but the 9 or 10 rounds of 9, I think it was a Glock 26 or something, and he was saying it was like 9 in the mag and 1 in the chamber. I think it was the 40 Smith & Wesson Glock or whatever. And it just struck me as dumb, because it's like, so are the bad guys going to line up 2 at a time and you're going to put 1 bullet through 2 of them? What what sense does it make? I'd rather have 8 rounds of this than 12 rounds of it because it's more powerful. I mean, like I said, are you going to be lining them up like bowling pins? What difference does it make? More rounds is better. You're not going to be shooting you're not going to be shooting through them. Why is 8 rounds of 357 better than 8 rounds of 9mm? Granted, it's better stopping power and everything, but you get my point. It's not really enough to matter. Is he lining up bad guys 3 at a time and seeing how many he can get with 1 round? I'll take 10 rounds of 9mm over 8 rounds of 357, thanks. And then, yeah, so that was just my, I guess, little rebuttal to this. This gun is way too big. The cylinder sticks out a ton, and it's way too heavy. I made this picture of my own little car, CM9, I think it is. Check this guy out. 16.8 ounces. This is on my kitchen scale like 20 minutes ago. I unloaded it. You can see the bullets off there on the right. It's got the mag in it though. That's fair. And that's what it weighs unloaded. And look at the size of the thing. It's probably smaller by itself than just the cylinder on that 357. What's his name's carrying? And look at the weight. 16.8. So, and it'll hold, you can fit 8 rounds in this, the same as his. The stock mag is a 6 round. You can put 1 in the pipe, you got 7. But I've got an extended mag, a 7 rounder. It sticks out about a ½ inch or whatever. But so then you've got 7 rounds, and then it doesn't stick out too much. And then 1 in the pipe, you'll have 8. And it, even with the little extended mag sticking out a ½ inch or so, with a little plastic bumper, it's still way more concealable than that giant 357 ever will be, I mean, trust me, the extended mag doesn't change the concealability much at all. So yeah, and there you've got 8 rounds of 9. It's going to fire a lot faster and smoother. I've never had a malfunction with this gun. And I probably fired 250, 300 rounds through it. This is a gun that's supposed to have a 200 round break-in period according to CAR. They'll tell you it's supposed to malfunction a lot in the first 200 rounds. You're supposed to be breaking. I've fired maybe 300 rounds total. Obviously, the majority of that falls in the 200 round break-in period where you're supposed to have problems. I've not had one malfunction with it of any type. I mean, the thing is very, very reliable. Even if it had malfunction, I could say, oh, well, it's in the 200 round break-in period, understandable. No, it hasn't had a single malfunction ever. So that's a real reliable gun. So yeah, I mean, it's better than that 357 he's touting around all day long. So yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, address that. Not a big deal, but and another thing is some of these guns, I think like I said, he's a revolver guy, but these are some of the ugliest guns I've ever seen. He seems to think these revolvers are pretty. This thing is actually not bad. I don't know if I'd call it pretty, but I actually kind of like this the more I look at it. On the website, it looks terrible. Like here, it looks weird, bad. But in his hands, it actually doesn't look bad. I mean, that's actually a pretty sweet looking gun. But you could definitely make the case like, whoa, that's so ugly. And you can definitely make this Chapel Rhino he's always on about. Those things look like an ugly ass. That's ugly. Not that I'm saying a Glock or something of beauty, but this is ugly. I mean, I'd just say in general, revolvers, can be kind of ugly and boring. They all look the same, or except for this Chiapo Rhino ugly thing. So I'd like to, contradict him on that too, because he thinks somehow revolvers are so beautiful. And one revolver kind of looks like every other revolver, to be honest. And they have their place, and I definitely like them. I do like revolvers a lot. In fact, I kind of think I only own one revolver, my North American Arms Mini 22 mag, and I almost think it's more fun to shoot than my semi-autos, maybe because it's so tiny, and so that really intrigues me for some reason. I don't know why, but some part of me probably likes shooting it better than my semi-autos. Semi-autos can be kind of boring, like I find my Glock very boring. It's very reliable and everything, but it's like my least favorite gun to shoot right now, just because okay, it goes bang every time. The slide goes back. It chambers another round. The trigger's pretty light. It's pretty accurate. I hold a shitload around. But it's just kind of more boring to shoot than any of my little more exotic guns like that CM9 I just showed you, or anything else, my AR or whatever I may have. So, yeah, I guess that's all I've really got on that. But then if I'm going to be dropped into a firefight, guess which one am I, other than my AR and with plenty of my pistols, guess which one I'm taking in a heartbeat? The Glock, for all the reasons that it's kind of boring. It's got a light trigger, it's got a lot of rounds, it always functions, So yeah, I just wanted to rebut old Yankee again here a little bit. That gun is way too heavy. Like I said, when I saw it, and I saw 8 rounds of 357, although that makes the cylinder too big, to be fair, and I saw all the scandium, I was kind of hopeful, like, oh, this might be interesting, And then I said 23 ounces. That is so heavy. He's acting like that's light. Is he crazy? Yeah, I think he compares it to a Glock 19. Anyone with a brain is going to take that Glock 19 in a firefight any day. Like I said, with one in the chamber, you're talking double the capacity. You're talking the ability to fire it much faster. Bang, you're going to get shots off with that Glock way quicker. You're talking good enough accuracy by far, especially if you're not single action firing the damn revolver. You're talking good enough power. Is the 9 as powerful as the 357 Magnum? No, but it's powerful enough, So, yeah, just, I saw Yankee had made a new video, so I just wanted to kind of rebut him a little on some of those aspects.